Hey guys, it's Laura. I'm here with my oldest son Alex, who is 2.5, and we're going to show you some of his favorite books. To start with, I wanted to show you the Muddle and Match series. There's 4 books in this series. This one's about monsters, but there are lots of different characters. And yeah, you're eating pizza. And with this book, you have the option of reading the story matching, or you can mix the pages up like so. And no matter what combination you do, it still makes a coherent story to read every time. And there's a few things that I really like about this series. One, it's board books, so they're very sturdy. 2, there's so many different options. It entertains Alex for eons. He takes this book everywhere. He reads it in bed, in the car, what have you. And it instills a few different little educational things. One of which is obviously color recognition and matching. The other of which is learning about alliteration and different letters and how they sound, because each color focuses on a different letter. For example, this one is about Marvin, the Magnificent Monster. So this whole page is focusing on the letter M. So when we read these, I ask Alex, for example, to find all the M's on the page, and we talk about how the letter M sounds. So that is also a really cool educational aspect to it. The next one I've got is a flippy floppy book. These are really neat. We have the one about jungle animals, but there's 3 different ones in this series. And the way they work is you open it up and it says, can you find the elephant? He's hiding somewhere. And so you open the first flap. Nope, that's the zebra. You open the next flap. Nope, that's a wildebeest. Oh, that's a hippo. And then the last flap, there's the elephant.
I see.
Yeah, you see? There he is.
I see.
Okay, and so each page is like that. It's a lot of fun. I thought that was a really neat idea. This is Alex's potty book. This one keeps him entertained when he's on the potty. And there's another little neat aspect to this book, which is on every page, there is a little white bird hiding somewhere. So when we read it, we make sure to ask Alex to find the white bird on each page. Can you find the white bird?
Right here.
Right there, yeah. He's a pro at this now. So that's another really cool one. The next one I have is the Wipe Clean activity books. We have Wipe Clean First Letters, which I thought Alex could grow into. They all come with a dry erase pen. And this one has different activities on it. Each page focuses on a few different letters, like this is I, K, and L. And those letters are hidden in the images throughout the page for Alex to trace with his marker. At this point in his education, he's just doodling in here. But he really enjoys it. The pages all have really bright colors. He's already scribbled in this earlier. And I'll wipe it off a little bit later.
I see space.
You want to see space? Yeah, that was the other page. And there are a ton of different books in this series. There's shapes, letters, numbers, puzzles, mazes, dot-to-dot, beginning pen recognition. For older kids, there's math and spelling and write your own story. So many different options. And at only $7.99, I mean, we have tons of these for in the car and at restaurants, waiting at the doctor's office or what have you. Or if we just want to get something done around the house and we need to keep Alex entertained for a while, those work really well. The next one I have, speaking of doctor's offices, is one of our Lift the Flap books. This is one of our most popular. It's called Look Inside Your Body. And this is a book that can really grow with Alex because there's lots of different little facts inside about the body. And obviously there's tons of flaps to lift up and look at. And it blew my mind when I opened this book for the first time that there were flaps within flaps. I'd never seen that before. So like this one has the skin on top, and then you go underneath and it's muscle, and then you lift another flap, and there's the bones. And then there's another flap to lift that shows you that the joints bend the bones, like this one's about your knee to bend your leg. And there's tons of different little flaps and things. Each page is themed differently throughout the books. For example, this page is about eating and how the digestive system works. And at 2.5 years old, Alex can already explain to you that when you eat food in your mouth, it goes to your stomach and turns to mush, and then goes to your intestines and turns to poop, and then goes out your butt. That's how he explains it at 2.5 years old. And I just think it's funny that already at this age he knows that, and he learned it from this book. So pretty cool. And as he gets older, he can read all the different little facts that are in here. And then one more cool thing about this book in particular, it has a couple other little interactive things underneath the flap. In the page about senses, the part about the ears has a little thing that makes noise. And the part about touch has a little bumps that you can touch. It's probably hard to see on the camera. So there you go. So that was the cool thing about that too. And the next book we have is the Big Book of Big Machines. There's a ton of books in the Big Book series. And what is cool about these books are the huge 4-page spreads that they have in them. They're big and gorgeously colorful, very attractive to the eye. And this is another one that has tons of little facts in it, so this will also grow with Alex as he gets older. You can read as much or as little of it as you want to sort of cater to your kids' needs at the time. So if we're trying to get through bedtime quickly, I just read a little bit. And Alex has already learned lots of different machines from this book. The other night in the bath, we were using his bath crowns. He asked me to draw him an excavator. It's like, I don't think I can draw that, buddy, but he learned that word from this book, so that's pretty cool. The next one I've got is one of the most popular series we have. It's the Shine a Light series, and this one is Secrets of the Rainforest. And I've already featured this book in the party, so I won't go into it too much.
I'll hold the flashlight.
But Alex loves to hold the flashlight, and the way these work is, for example, this one's about animals in the rainforest. So let's go to this page. It's asking you what's hiding under this leaf. So you shine the light. Can you shine the flashlight, Bubba? There it is, and you can see the butterfly is hiding under the leaf. Here you go, Bub. And each page is like that throughout the book. So it's really neat. He learns all about all sorts of different animals, and this one is rainforest, and we also have one about the seashore and different animals and plants in the seashore. So, yeah, butterfly. So, there's a bunch of other ones in the series too. There's one about the construction site. There's one about trains. There's one about secrets of the apple tree. So lots of different options for whatever your kid is into. And it's one that I recommend for everybody, for kids of all ages, because it's just a really neat, unique thing. I've never seen anything like that, and it's such a simple idea. Like, why didn't I think of that? So anyway, the next one I've got for you is one of our Noisy books. This is my favorite, Noisy Orchestra. And what I like about Noisy Orchestra is it features classical music. Each page is about a different section of the orchestra. So, for example, this is the strings section. And you go through all the sections of the orchestra until you get to the end where the whole orchestra plays together. And so each of these buttons is for example, let's do the woodwind section. I don't know if you can hear that very well on the camera, but it sounds really nice here. I love the pretty classical music, and I also love that there's a bunch of different animals in here, so you can also talk about different animals that you're seeing on the page as well. And each of these pages has a different tab at the top that coordinates to buttons on the side, so the kids know which button to push for each page, and the tabs make it easy to turn the page as well. It's another board book, so again, really sturdy. I know how toddlers can be rough on books, so I try to do a lot of board books with Alex at this age. He's getting a little better with pages, but isn't quite there yet. Speaking of page books, though, the next one I've got is one of our dual readers. This one is Bible stories, but there are a ton of different dual reader story collections out there. So there's a whole bunch of abridged versions of the stories in the Bible in this book. It has a read-along CD, which is pretty cool. But the selling feature, or what have you, of the dual readers is the fact that at the top of each page there is an abbreviated version of the story that is quick and easy to read. So if you have a young reader, you have them read the top line, And then at the bottom is the more details that you can add to the story that mom and dad can read. So you can kind of tag team it. Or if you're like me and you're trying to get through bedtime after a crazy day and you just want the story to be over so the kid will go to sleep, right? You just read this top part and get through the story more quickly that way. So there's lots of stories in one book, so it's a really good value. Yeah, that's Baby Moses on the front cover. Good job. And so it's a good bang for your buck, and it's one that will grow with the kids as they get older and learn to read. Alex wants to read about Baby Moses. Okay, so one more, and this is a really, really cool one. I recommend this one to a lot of kids that are really into cars and things that go. This is the Wind-Up Bus, and there are a few different ones in the series. There's Wind-Up Race Car and Wind-Up Airplane. I think there's one more, but this one's about the bus, and it's specifically about the bus driving through London. So each page is like different parts of London, and you read about the bus going through London. So it says it's in front of the zoo, and then it's along the road, around the statues, through the traffic light. And what is cool is you take the bus and you wind it up, and then it drives along these little tracks here. I'll try to demo it for you on the video, but let's see. So there it goes. Neat, huh? So you can do it on the page like that, or pieces of the page also come out. Let me see if I can pull one out really quick. And you can pull the pieces out, buddy, not too loud, from each page. And they go together like a puzzle and make a big, huge track you can do along the floor, which is pretty neat. Here you go. And so this combines two of Alex's favorite things, cars and puzzles. So it's another interesting and different way to make reading fun. And that's about it. Alex has a ton more books. Actually, this is, believe it or not, an abbreviated version. And we have a bunch of other ones. So if you want some recommendations on things that your toddler might like best, don't hesitate to ask me. I'm happy to help with that. We have things for every different interest you can think of, so I'm sure we can find something that will work for your kid. So don't hesitate to ask, and I hope you enjoyed these demos. Thanks, guys. Bye. Can you say bye, Alex?
Bye.